Fun fact time.
Whoa. A little preemptive
We're
there.
speeding through this.
Hey, you ever try to do a podcast when you're depressed?
Yes.
It's so hard. We're doing it a little bit differently this time, but we're not going to tell you how. I think that's what we say every week.
Yeah.
So
guess what our gimmick is every time.
I was going to say, it's like up to the listener to figure out what we're doing differently.
Secret gimmicks.
How are you?
Good.
Sorry, I'm smacking my lips so much. You know what I miss?
What?
Lip smackers. You know?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is that like a
kids, am I
like
right?
a candy or like one of those joke shop things?
No, they're like little fruity chapsticks, I think. Now I'm wondering if maybe I have a false memory because I haven't seen them in a very long time. But they were so good. I can kind of see why they died because I think a lot of people probably just ate them. Lip smackers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to My Podcabbages, a podcast about Avatar: The Last Airbender by me, Summer.
And me.
Oh.
Noah.
I have some fun facts. I'm going to make my fun facts Yue-based today because we love a girl. So Yue, the princess who we are introduced to in this episode, there's a lot of fun stuff going on with this gal. We don't know a whole lot of it, so I'm not gonna spoil anything because I think we get some more of that in the next episode so.
Yeah.
Yue actually, the word actually means moon in Mandarin Chinese, which is not very surprising. It's pretty on the nose.
Why is that?
Because we see her looking up at the moon in this episode.
Because she likes to look at the moon.
She's a moon girl.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as we already know, Sokka's other girlfriend sort of person, her name also means moon, so
Suki.
He's just a moon guy. Yue was one of the few people belonging to the water tribe whose name doesn't have an sound in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, like Katara.
Katara.
No, Katara.
Katara. Sokka.
Like Katara. Probably because they wanted her name to mean moon.
Whatever that dude's name is. Paku.
Yeah. Paku.
Pak.
Did you know that Pac-Man
Yes, I did.
comes from the...
I did.
Aside from the elderly, Yue is the only white-haired character in the series, which we will get to, we'll get to the sort of story behind that later. But in the commentary, we found out that, I want to say it was Michael.
We listened to the commentary and there was like 3 different people and they all had the same voice.
Yeah, it was like listening to a bad podcast.
Yeah.
But I think it was, it was one of the creators or character designers or something who created Yue, and they were like extremely, extremely aggressive about making her hair white. Like he didn't even have a reason for it. He just wanted her to stand out. It's like, that's so valid.
None of you changed this at all.
He said he saw like a single drawing of her with dark hair and he just like flipped his shit. Yeah. Like, who did this? There's a bay, apparently, off the coast of Republic City.
That's me.
You're, okay.
Okay.
There's a bay off the coast of Republic City, which also has Yue's name, which is fun, I guess.
What's Republic City?
Just a place in the universe.
How did it get named after her?
Look, some of these facts are for smart people only.
Okay.
Fans only, OGs only. Yeah, so that's what I have today. There are a lot more fun facts about Yue, but most of them are spoilers. So maybe I'll come back to those next week. So let's just jump into the episode. So we start with Sokka and Katara. They're finding an iceberg with a boy in it. Oh, wait, shit. That's in the opening. Huh.
Yeah.
That's a little far behind.
Aang runs into a little statue. We never really see that feel the statues that you say at the beginning, I guess.
That's my favorite Tim Allen movie. So the episode today is called The Waterbending Master.
Mm-hmm.
So when this episode starts, for some reason, it was very familiar to me, and I don't remember why. It felt like I had watched it 1,000 times, like 1,000 upon 1,000 times. I'm not sure if it was like, maybe it was like in a Video Now thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If anyone has this experience, please let me know because I couldn't figure out why. So the episode starts with the gang kind of floating along amongst the icebergs, presumably up north.
Looks cold.
Looks very cold. And Sokka gets kind of upset because they're kind of low on gas. Appa's low on the old tank.
Mm-hmm.
But Aang really lets him know the kinds of struggles that flying bison have to go through.
Yeah. I guess he just flies low when he's really tired. So I guess it's just easier to just kind of push off the ground, I guess.
But they are interrupted in their flying by some big pointy pieces of ice.
This is like if they did like an epic anime kind of remake of the Titanic where like the iceberg is like coming out at the ship and like attacking it.
Waterbenders did Titanic 11. But yeah, it looks like some big old spiky little boats are coming up behind the icebergs that are being formed. Looks like a bunch of waterbenders. The gang gets excited because they've been looking for the waterbenders because they're looking for the Northern Water Tribe.
Yeah.
Looks like they did it.
They found them.
So then we cut to some sort of fire-bending place.
Just one of their camp places.
Camps. They're just kind of all over the place doing shit.
Yeah, you never really see the inside of the Fire Nation much.
Zhao's kind of making some kind of plan. He's looking at a map and determines that the Avatar is probably heading up to the Northern Water Tribe to learn waterbending. I'm not sure how he got this idea. Do you remember?
I mean, I guess you would just kind of assume since that's the order that they learn.
Right. That makes sense. The last episode ended with, was it the Northern Air Temple? Was that the last one we did?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Man, that feels like it was so long ago. But Zhao is, I guess, kind of giving a little bit of exposition on the Northern Water Tribe's abilities as sort of like a military force because he wants to go up there and grab Aang or his little buddies want to go up and grab Aang. They're like, well, what are we waiting for? And Zhao's like, apparently you don't know shit because they've got big pointy boats up there.
Their boats are pointy.
They can make icebergs.
And it's ice cold.
Yeah, but Zhao seems to be very familiar with how fortified this city is. Is that what we can call it? A city?
It's like a little city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, let's call it that.
It's not very little. It's pretty big. So we actually see the gang approach it, and Aang points it out, even though it's you're not going to miss it. It's big.
Yeah, it has this ginormous sort of water tribe emblem on it.
And Aang stands up and he's like, there it is. As they're approaching, it's kind of like looking like they're just going to run into the wall.
Doesn't look like that there's any openings.
But the whole city seems to be made out of very dense snow.
Yeah.
Which is kind of clever. It's sort of like a giant igloo city.
Yeah.
Especially for people who can manipulate water, this would be ideal, really, as long as you can. I mean, fire, though, like having fire in your home seems like it would be. I know there are ways to like do that with igloos and stuff, but like it seems like it would be a lot of like extra thought put into those kinds of things.
How do you have a fireplace in a nice town?
Let's ask Adam Scott.
Okay.
So yeah, the waterbenders that are on these little boats that are bringing the gang in, they just open up a big entrance in the wall, and then we see up on the walls, they have this incredibly intricate sort of water locking mechanism.
Yeah, it's like an airlock, but for boats.
It's extremely impressive. I cannot overstate how impressive
this is. I don't know how
is.
to describe this. Like they have to like adjust the water levels. Okay, so it looks like that the whole city is like has a raised water level. And like when they get inside the wall, they kind of like raise up the water so they can like get up. It's like almost like a little water elevator.
It's genius. They actually talked about in the commentary how they spent like a very, very long time sort of constructing this, like behind the scenes, trying to come up with like a logical way to do this. And apparently they even like had several scenes, like more detail going into how it all worked. And they had to just cut it because it was just taking up way too much time in the episode. It's just like half of the episode just watching them like lock and unlock and raise the water levels of this little city. And it's like, okay, that's it. I hope you learned how to water bend.
They mentioned in the commentary, this is one of the first episodes that they had in mind. So this is definitely something that they had a lot of time to brew their thoughts in.
And they also said, because you can see that there's like a really big difference in the way that this city looks compared to the Southern tribe. And it's mostly because the Southern tribe was like right next to where the war began, basically. So it was like one of the worst. It was one of the places that got hit the hardest whenever the firebenders started attacking. So there's like very, very little left of the Southern tribe, which is really sad. And they like completely lost their culture and everything.
Yeah, and it used to look like kind of as big as impressive as like this one.
Did they say that? I mean, I have to assume that's true, but like, wow, that would be...
Because until like they mentioned that, I just assumed that the Southern Water Tribe was just that shitty.
I guess like it's been 100 years, so like the Southern Water Tribe would have looked way different 100 years ago. I can't even imagine. It would be fun to get some background information on what it used to look like.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's floating around somewhere. Because it's floating. You're not laughing.
Yeah, that was it's my new thing, like when you do a ba-dum-tsh, and then I'm adding like a little like kick drum, like it didn't land well. Like like it's the audio equivalent of like a joke falling on its face or something.
Something I was saying, and I feel like it hurts me to say this, especially because like listening to the commentators talk about how proud they were of their design of the Northern Water city. It just looks very empty to me. Yeah. It's beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it is absolutely beautiful. The artwork, like the details of all of the little sort of totems and the different like details on the windows and stuff. It's beautiful. But like, I just feel like I want to see like more pets. I want to see more merchants. I want to see a cabbage cart. Yeah. Something, please. It makes it feel very like the whole place feels very sterile to me. Yeah. This was actually, while I was watching this episode, was where I was really starting to feel like, you know, they like, if they do this new Avatar show correctly and well, they could actually bring a lot of life to places like this that they weren't able to do necessarily because, you know, like sort of low budget animation is a lot harder to. And
they mentioned in the last commentary episode that they were working with like 3-week schedules per episode. Yeah. Which is like, that's.
I gotta whip that out.
That's a lot for us just to podcast about this show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even just like, since I just started like getting into animation a little bit more seriously, the amount of work it takes to do anything it's so, even just like the minimal amount of animation is so much work. So like, I like not to minimize their creative accomplishments in any way, but I do just want to see some more, you know, stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like Netflix will give them a lot more room to work with. Since you don't have to like crunch it in a time schedule.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like the creators will be on the new show, hopefully. So far, that hopefully that doesn't change if if Netflix is trying to make hard moves that, like, you know, what happened to American Gods? Yeah, their next season. God, that would be heartbreaking. But for now. Let's see what happens with that and get back to our own episode in the meantime. As we see the gang sort of entering the city, into the heart of the city. Everybody is kind of out of their homes and everyone looks really excited to greet them. So it is nice that Aang finally gets like a moment he doesn't have to hide and everyone's like genuinely excited to see him.
Yeah. The city looks pretty blue, which I'm realizing is because it's kind of like reflecting the sky.
Yeah,
so
it's the way snow works.
Yeah, so it makes me realize that this could actually, even though it's such like all blank way, it could actually be like a really colorful city because it just matches the sky.
Yeah, if it's man, can you imagine how beautiful the city would be? Because it's on one of the poles too, so they would probably get really, really cool sort of northern light stuff going on. That would be so dope to see. Oh man. And then we finally are introduced to one of the best characters in the goddamn show, Princess Yue. She comes gliding in on a gondola. Is that what it's called? Those little boats?
This is like a gondola looking thing.
So what are those things called that like hang from wires and go?
That's also a gondola.
Is that allowed?
No.
Can you just do that?
No, the person who named that gondola got arrested for word crimes.
They thought they were in a gondola and sorry, I'm trying to make some sort of stupid Columbus joke. It's not working. And folks, I feel so stupid. Fucking right here, right now, our purple character that we we're on watch just from the last episode. Here she is. I do have to say though, like the color of her outfit. First of all, her fucking outfit, her whole character design is just it's so good. Mm-hmm. She's so beautiful, and I just want 10 seconds just to look at her in real life. Please, Yue, wherever you are. But the color of her outfit is like so beautiful and like striking in pretty much every scene of the episode that I'm like 100% sure she is the only person in the show wearing purple. So her design is extremely unique all around. And she and Sokka sort of share a little moment, kind of. I guess it's like a one-way moment.
Just Sokka just looks at her and blushes.
Yeah. And then there's like that really cliche line of Katara saying, "This place is so beautiful." And Sokka's like, "Yeah, she is."
Oh.
Ugh. And then, so we start getting like little shots of the moon throughout this episode.
Yeah.
And also pointed out by the commentators, there are like little moon details kind of all over the city. But this is where, and it's very funny because the commentators were like, we made a very like specific choice, a very careful decision about like the phase of the moon, just like for dramatic effect and blah, blah, blah. But like, remember from a few episodes ago where it was a full moon and we learned that they really fucked up with this because it was not supposed to be a crescent moon in this episode.
Okay.
Based on the time that elapsed.
Okay. But maybe it's just showing how much time has elapsed, though.
I think they were saying no, but we have like a very strict timeline. He was supposed to do it before the end of something.
Okay, we're on Moonwatch right now. It's a crescent moon.
Is it waxing or waning?
I don't know. What does it mean if it's on the right side?
I think that's waning. Because it's always waxing and waning. That's like the order you always say them in. So waxing means growing and waning means shrinking.
I think it always changes sides. Waning means shrinking.
Yeah. So
okay.
And so so waxing is when it's full on the left and waning is when it's
okay. So waxing, it's on the right. So it is waxing.
Wait, what? I said waning.
I'm looking at waxing crescent. It's all a crescent moon from the right side.
I clearly know so much about the moon.
So this is a moon that's filling up with light.
This is a moon.
This is a moon. You think about outer space. You say nice. We finally get to see music night.
So we see one of Iroh's bards playing his lute. Iroh is singing about me. He's doing his little seasons song. Apparently, they were saying also in the commentary that they love his singing voice, and they really tried to get him to sing as much as possible, and he fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Mako, the voice actor for Iroh, he hates singing, but they got him to do it as much as they could.
And they're all playing instruments and like dancing.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's not like
Iroh's just trying to enjoy his fucking life.
Yeah, it's not all like hoity-jowdy. It's like all like peaceful.
But Zhao kind of, doesn't last. Zhao shakes it up a little bit.
Zhao's got...
By appearing.
He's got footloose disease.
By existing.
Where he hates dancing.
But the festivities continue over back at the Water City, where we see a little feast going on for the gang. Because, as I said, they're actually very excited to have him here. There's a big fucking crab.
Wait, that's a crab.
That's a crab.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I was just assuming that it was like some big cloth going over some...
They're cooking a giant crab.
Whew. This is more than king crab. It's Pope crab.
Aang has never been so uncomfortable in his life, which is ironic because they're throwing a party for him. And they brought out the biggest crab they could find in the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
And they're boiling it alive in front of him.
This is just for you.
But it's also...
This is a triple celebration.
I think my guess is here's my guess. My guess is they had already planned this party to celebrate Yue's 16th birthday. They had everything set up. They had caught the giant crab, the giant 16th birthday crab. They,
as one does, gets for your sweet 16.
They hired the drummers. The scouts up on the wall see something approaching the city. They send their boats out to kill whoever it is because they're interrupting. They're trying to crash the princess's party. They get out there, almost killing Aang, and then they're like, "Oh hey, yeah." Oh, cool. Why don't you join us? We'll set up a party for you. So yeah, this was already planned out. And then and unfortunately, we find out that Yue is now of marrying age.
Because she's 16.
So here's my concern, and I don't want to spoil ahead of myself for this episode. But they announced that she's of marrying age. Today. And then we find out she's engaged.
Yeah.
How fast was this guy proposing to Yue?
I would imagine that they've been having like this whole sort of fighting arena contest to who gets to marry the princess or something. That's what my guess would be.
Whoever brought the biggest crab. So now we see why Yue absolutely cannot say no to this guy because he brought the biggest fucking crab. Nobody even knew crabs were made this big.
We're introduced to Master Paku.
Yeah, Master Paku and presumably some of his students are kind of doing a little water show.
Yeah, this Master Paku guy looks kind of familiar.
Oh yeah, I've already talked about this. He is the waterbender in the opening. The commentators were really like going on about how much they love this character, and it was like making my blood boil.
Yeah, because he's
the shittiest character we've met. I mean, not. I mean, like I guess the shittiest like quote unquote good character.
Yeah, I feel people kind of like look at him like Iron Man cool, like he's a dick, and that's why we like him because he's got no manners. He's a rude boy.
Yeah. Oh, I guess like. I don't know why we didn't mention this, but the three people that were doing the commentary, two of them, it was Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko were two of them. So, so they're not innocent.
Yeah, like I guess it would be easy to like him because he would be just fun to write for because it would be easy. Like, what would be the worst thing to say here?
I guess so. Yeah, but I mean, like obviously he improves or whatever, but. Anyway, Sokka is like trying to hit on Yue by telling her that he's he was like a prince of the Southern Water Tribe, and Katara gets like kind of like huffy about it, But I mean, like, I feel like Sokka has the right to say that since they've like completely lost their culture. It's like, well, I might as well just say I'm Prince.
Yeah.
No one can stop me. You know? He was like wasn't he like the oldest guy left at the Southern Water Tribe?
He was at like the cutoff point, I think.
Yeah, like
he was like
all of the other men were like off fighting or whatever, and
like,
he was like the only one left there. So
yeah, too young to go off, but oldest staying.
So I feel like he kind of had a right to say that, I guess. But he is, as Sokka does, he's making a fool of himself, choking on his food and saying stupid shit, and Yue's not letting it go. She's doing that thing where like someone makes a typo in the group chat and everyone just repeats it.
Because he says, let's do an activity. And it's like, an activity?
We're going to do an activity?
An activity? Would you, hey Sokka, you want to go on an activity with me?
Hey, let's all do activities.
Sorry, I can't. I have
an activity.
I have an activity to go to.
Oh, another thing that Pakku says is like, because he meets Aang, and Aang is hoping to learn from him, obviously. And Pakku's like, just because you're the Avatar, don't expect any special treatment. But it's like, he literally needs to learn like, waterbending to save the world.
I feel like I need some special treatment.
Like, it's kind of important. Aang tells him that he and his friend want to come learn from him, and Pakku's like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow or whatever. Then we cut to Zuko, who is being an emo bitch, as he does.
He's cool. He's in his chambers, and he's just leaning against the wall.
Apparently,
his arms crossed.
Iroh has been trying to like pressure him to play this Sungi horn, which I would love to see.
Yeah.
God, would that be good? But Zuko apparently was very upset by this proposition. But Zhao kind of comes in behind Iroh and informs Zuko that he's taken his crew. This was also something they were talking about in the commentary. The fact that Zuko and Zhao are both just extremely aggressive, like impatient people. It always makes the scene really fun to make and to watch, because it's like, who's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, this could go any way.
Yeah.
Because neither of them is like afraid of going too far.
Yeah. They're just little escalators.
So I guess it is very important to always have Iroh there. Otherwise, it just get very bad, as we will see. But Zhao apparently has taken Zuko's crew to go capture the Avatar at the Northern Water Tribe. And then Zhao spots something on Zuko's wall. Zhao has like a very vivid memory of the incident with the blue spirit, just because of how demoralizing and humiliating it was for him. But he sees the, what are they called? The little swords, the little Deadpool swords.
Yeah. I think they're like cutlasses.
No, there's something much cooler.
Katanas.
No, certainly not that. Zhao recognizes them as the like exact same swords that the Blue Spirit had been using. And you see his like eyes shaking in that anime way. That means they're upset. So we know that Zhao is kind of, if he hasn't figured it out, he certainly is now very suspicious of Zuko being the Blue Spirit. Broadswords.
He's like, where'd you get these broadswords? And Zuko's like, I got them from a guy named Grog Swords.
So Aang brings a very excited Katara up to see Pakku to get their little waterbending lessons. Pakku sees Katara, takes one look at her, and does the most problematic thing a person could possibly do. Just by looking at a person, they say, "Oh, a woman, I won't teach you." I'm sorry. You need to go back several words before I'm ever going to be able to respect anything you say ever again. But apparently, this tribe has like a cultural tradition of not allowing women to use their waterbending for fight, or even just learning waterbending as like a fighting skill. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. It's not just him. It's just normal.
And Katara gets fucking pissed. It's really good to see. In fact, like I do remember watching this as a little kid and being like, holy shit. Like, like I wouldn't have even done this when I was like 12 or however old she is, 13.
Mm-hmm.
She's very, very aggressive. And I am grateful that they at least allowed her that. Paku explains that the women in the city who can waterbend are only learning how to heal. And Katara's like, I can already do that.
And she said, I don't want to learn how to heal. I want to fight.
Yeah, which she has the right to do.
She means is Hanzo.
Okay. But Aang tries to do the right thing by saying, well, if you won't teach her, then you won't teach me either. And Paku's like, okay, I don't care. Because he's a piece of shit. Of course he doesn't care. But Katara doesn't want Aang to like risk his training like this. So she's just like, it's actually more important for you, and turns him back around, and it sucks. They have this very serious scene with all this bad, problematic sexism like stuff that they have to deal with, and they have like they have to make a very serious decision. It's very, like sort of a solemn mood, and then Aang turns around to go back and work with Paku, and Paku's like, all right, let's begin, and then just blasts him the fuck off his ass with
he says, let's begin your training, and he pushes him on the ground and starts kicking him.
Meanwhile, Sokka seems to have found Yue just on the gondola that she lives on, I guess. Just kind of rowing down the street. Yeah,
watching this now, it's like it feels like a kind of rude thing to do. It's kind of like if someone's driving on the road. And then,
absolutely.
like wave them down.
No, it's kind of annoying. This is basically catcalling. He's just like yelling to her from the side of the road, like, hey, you're really pretty. Let's go do something. Yeah. Let's go do an activity.
It's like an eloquent catcall.
I guess. This was romantic in 2003. Thanks, Nicholas Sparks. But like they're kids, and I mean, they've already met also is the thing. And they seem to have like some kind of weird chemistry. They actually did achieve that at the party because she was making fun of him for like the way he was talking, but she was also talking kind of weird. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
In like a weird sort of like robotic way.
Kind of like formal.
Like, oh, you want to do an activity? She's very cute. Yeah, so she's into this, actually. You can see her kind of blushing, like, oh, he still wants to do an activity. And she just, so she agrees to meet up with Sokka, and she just points to just some random bridge that looks like all of the other ones.
I'll meet you at that bridge.
I have there's no street signs or anything. Like,
is there like places you can go to? Are there restaurants here?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want like some more. I want to get into this city a little bit more. I want to see what's going on in here.
You only really see the outdoors.
Yeah. So he agrees to meet her on the bridge and then accidentally steps off the sidewalk. That's what I have.
Into the water.
Yeah.
I feel like we should also mention that this is like a Venice situation.
Yeah. So there aren't any actual streets. They're not just pushing the gondola down the road.
It's not like with like wheels on it.
It's not like Undertale where they have like little dog faces and dog legs.
It's Venice, but super, super cold and made of ice.
Venice. And then we see Zhao has hired the pirates for something Zuko related, and then cut back to the Northern Water Tribe.
We learned from the commentary that these pirates are based off of the animation team.
Oh, yeah. I think he was saying the animation team in Korea, all of the people down there, all of the pirates are like completely designed based on them, which is really cool. I love that. And then we cut back to the Northern Water Tribe where we see a man tightly bound in a body morph suit.
These are the same pirates from the other episode, right?
Yes.
Okay.
A man in a body morph suit.
He's like, it's like a Tron style body morph suit.
No, there's like this dummy that's lying on the ground, but it's very realistic looking.
It's incredibly realistic. Also looks pretty fit.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty good looking for a CPR dummy.
But it seems to have like these grooves in it that sort of go all over the body, and they have like little sort of points that I'm assuming are like different little pressure points and things. And this weird man dummy is just full of water.
That's me.
If we had nicknames on this show, you could be like a weird man dummy full of water.
I am Noah, aka Weird Man Dummy full of water.
But this is, they're in this hut where the women of the tribe are learning how to heal. So that's what this little dummy is for, all the little points of healing and whatnot. I don't know. We don't get too much of an explanation on it. But when I say women, Katara walks in to join them and looks around and sees they're all like kindergartners. Mm-hmm. She looks very upset about it. So then we see Aang training with Pakku again. Pakku is just doing that thing that his firebending teacher was doing, which is just kind of being really rude and
not really paying that much attention.
Yeah.
It's like, I know what you're doing and I know you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, basically. And as we know, that is not a good way to teach Aang. He doesn't learn that way. Mm-hmm. I think it's, it's like watching him have such little patience for this kind of training is like weird, because it's like he's like an airbending master. He should have already gone through this. But like we know that the airbenders are like very free spirited. They're a lot more like, certainly his airbending government assigned dad was.
Yeah, and it's probably like less about the patience and more about like the rigidness of his training and stuff.
What do you mean?
Like he's being taught in a very like textbook style way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like the techniques that he's using and that he's being taught by these very like these Pakku and what was the firebending master's name? Him. The way that they were teaching Aang, it's like all of the techniques are important and they could have used these with Aang, but the way that they were like forcing them on him in such a rude way, I think that's the thing that he doesn't like.
And like very inattentive too.
Yeah.
Like how your Bagua teacher teaches you, where he like tells you extremely specific things that you do wrong, and then you're like, oh, and it changes the whole thing. Yeah, and he's like he has a very good sense of humor, and it's all very, yeah, absolutely. Back at the healing hut, Katara's little healing teacher points out her necklace and is like, oh, who's the lucky guy? And Katara's confused, and the woman tells her that it's a betrothal necklace. I'm not sure if Katara knew this or not already. She seems like she could have or could have not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I feel like she should know.
Yeah, it didn't look like she was shocked by the news. It just looked like, oh, no. No, you got the wrong idea. This was just something that was passed down to me. We've also found out from the commentary that this water bending, the healing woman is voiced by Mama Smurf.
Smurfette.
Yeah.
It's the person who voiced Smurfette.
So that's fun. That's why her skin is a little bit blue.
Typecast as person in a blue village.
Blue woman. But she actually recognizes the necklace and like the specific sort of. Was it that she recognized the necklace, or was it that Katara was just like, oh no, this was just passed to me from my grandmother?
Probably both.
Yeah. So she realizes, oh wait, this is Kanna's necklace. And Katara's like, what? Gran? And she finds out that Gran is actually from the Northern Water Tribe.
She from the Northern Water Tribe?
Yep.
Oh.
And Katara didn't know this, which is wild. But apparently, Gran had an arranged marriage with someone. And that was how she got this necklace. And she fucking hated this whole system because she should. Gran was not crazy about sort of the misogyny going on here. And she just left. So good for her. Meanwhile, Zuko is brooding even harder.
Yeah. He's now in bed with his arms crossed.
He looks like a fucking vampire, like trying to get into his coffin or something.
Also in the scene, his little cross swords are behind his head, and it's angled in a way that it looks like that he's got like little bunny ears.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Give Zuko bunny ears.
It just looks really funny with his angry face. These little bunny ears. I love it. Iroh's trying to coerce him into taking a walk outside.
Yeah, he's very insistent. Like,
he's
it's
like,
a nice
go for a walk
nice
outside.
night
It's
for a
really
walk."
nice. It's a nice time. Come on.
And then he says something that like my parents said to me all the time when I was a kid is, well, whatever makes you happy. And then closing the door really passive aggressively.
What a good thing to do.
So Iroh walks away, and assuming, like, based on the way that he was just communicating with Zuko, he has to know what's about to happen, right?
Yeah, or like he might be like have some suspicions, or be like have some like fear or something.
He does have that good spirit intuition.
Spirit tuition for Ghost College.
I guess it's not a strong enough bad feeling, because Iroh just kind of walks off the ship and leaves Zuko alone in his room. Should be fine. We do see like an ominous little reptile parrot flying behind him as he walks away as a little omen. We don't have to wait long to find out what the omen's about, though, because immediately we see the pirates. They all board up on the ship with the blasting jelly. So yes, confirmed. Yeah. It is in other episodes. Hey, I also just realized one of your things for 20 questions was blasting jelly, and then another one was slime.
Yeah.
Do you have a slime thing? Do you have a weird slime thing I should know about?
I have to go. I have to use the bathroom.
Oh, Noah got very nervous about the question I just asked him. So Zuko hears something and finally jumps out of his bed of brooding.
And he's on full caution mode.
Yeah, he looks very on edge. He sort of runs up to the boiler room and he doesn't see anything except out of the window. He sees that little reptile parrot boy, which can't be good. He knows, he recognizes this parrot. He recognizes this child, this creature, and he looks terrified.
Yeah. Rightfully
so. So before he can even really react, the parrot kind of flies off, and then we get this incredibly dramatic explosion. The pirates. Hey, do you think do you think they picked parrots because they sound? One pirate somewhere thought someone said pirate, and they actually said parrot, and they're like, oh, I guess this guy's a pirate too. Better bring him along.
Yeah, there was one pirate, he needed a crew, and he was like, I need you to fill this ship with pirates. And then he misheard him. Like, well, now I got to give all these parrots.
Now I have to convince all of my pirate friends that parrots are in.
Oh, haven't you heard? Parrots are a very pirate thing to have.
The explosion it's a big one. It goes all the way up the big towery thing.
Smashes every single window in the ship.
It gets in all the little metal rooms. I have no idea of like what ship anatomy is. So, but it basically cleans this motherfucker out, and the explosion travels up all the way into the captain's quarters, whatever you want to call it, the place where you control the ship. And as far as we're aware, Zuko's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Like, the whole ship has exploded, and he was on it. And now it's just sitting in the water, flaming, like huge, absolutely huge flames here. And as far as Iroh's aware also, because he runs back from his walk as he sees this explosion. He looks upset, so I guess he didn't exactly know what was going to happen. And also, like, he looks genuinely upset. So my thing is, though, like, he gets really upset and he's like, Zuko. And then he just kind of looks sad and he just looks down.
Yeah.
And it's like, why isn't he running on there?
That's true. He can firebend.
He can control fire.
That's true. I mean,
Doesn't he want to save his nephew?
That's probably a scene that they might have cut.
Yeah,
possibly.
Well, yeah, and later we find out. Well, he did something. So
God, I would love to see that scene in the Netflix show, though.
That would be so fucking dope.
Like Iroh saving Zuko from this sinking, burning ship.
Yeah, that would be
very good.
A good scene to see.
Yeah.
We cut to Yue and Sokka's little scene. He meets her up on the bridge. He found it somehow. I guess like it's not hard to find Yue though.
Yeah.
So she just glitters in the moonlight.
I would have had trouble finding this bridge because every single alleyway in the city looks the same.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, I don't know how you would, I don't know how you would even like find your way back to the entrance, let alone like a specific non-important bridge.
I'm just imagining in the Netflix show, the only addition is that they have like green street signs with the names on them.
So we see the two of them have a little moment together. It's actually really cute. Not that I'm like a fan of hetero relationships overall, but this is cute. They do have like a weird kind of cute chemistry together. I'm more so I want to say than he had with Suki, because I just feel like Suki. Not that Yue isn't too good for him, because everybody's too good for Sokka, and Yue is too good for everyone. But Suki is just like on a completely different energy level, I feel like.
Yeah. Yue has this mystical, magical, powerful energy from her.
She's sort of like a very sweet, I was going to say sweet, soft Katara who can't waterbend. It's like, well, no, now they have nothing in common. But he has carved her a little fish. And it's so cute.
Yeah.
Because, okay, first of all, to me, it looks like a man.
Yeah. Yue says it's a bear.
This is a man. Or a bear. Yeah, Yue, like, just as a statement is like, it's a bear. And Sokka's like, no, it's a fish. But he's carved like 2 eyes and a mouth onto the side of it. I don't know. He's not very artistic, Sokka. But he did his goddamnedest. In the commentary when they were talking about this, like I want to say it was like the storyboard artist.
Yeah.
Just like sort of scribbled this out for just like a placeholder for this little thing that he made. And they saw it and they were like, it's perfect. Please don't change anything. This is exactly what it needs to look like. Yeah, so he hands it to Yue and she says it's a bear and he says, no, it's a fish. And it's very cute. She's very touched. I can see how, like, if you're just listening to this and you haven't seen it, it's like, how can something look like a man, a bear, and a fish? Because it has these 2 little, what look like arms and 2 little legs, and then the face. So it looks like it could be a man, bear man, hook hand door. But
it's like that illusion drawing where it looks like a rabbit and an old lady.
Yeah, but like apparently like the little arms are actually like little fins on the top and the bottom, and the legs are like the back fin.
And the mouth is a gill?
I think it's the face. I think he just carved it onto the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just a face that he didn't know how it worked. And then Yue gets very upset.
She's like, oh,
I've made a mistake.
I made a huge mistake.
When she sees this piece of shit. And honestly, that's what Sokka must.
Yeah.
So Yue pushes him away and is like, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. And she runs off crying. And Sokka gets really upset.
He tried using charm and he rolled like a -20.
Sokka gets very upset because he like worked so hard on this little fish and he was like completely denied, and they were getting along so well, and he like frustratedly like throws the fish into the water where it belongs. It's kind of like symbolic, because it's like there's plenty of fish in the gondola street. He's just throwing the fish back.
Yeah.
But like from his perspective, it must have looked like he tried to hand Yue this little carving, and Yue was like, oh, fuck, I've made a mistake, and walks off. And he's like, oh, I did such a bad job.
Yeah. It's also kind of symbolic to Yue because she has sort of a fishy past.
God, that's true. Also sounds really weird if you don't know anything about this show.
Past is a little fishy.
Sokka back with the gang is talking about his girl troubles, and then Katara is talking about her girl troubles, which is being a girl and not being allowed to learn waterbending. And she does a cute little like flop onto her mattress, and her little hood goes up over her head, which is a cute, fun little animation thing. And then they have this genius idea where Aang is just going to start learning waterbending from Pakku as he is, and then he'll just teach Katara afterward. Of course.
They don't resolve Sokka's problem because they don't care.
Yeah.
It's not that important,
It's really not. Sokka can take care of himself. So we see Aang teaching Katara the waterbending he was learning. Katara seems to be getting the hang of it. And then she does this sick-ass trick where she's like swinging it all around her body. And it's like she's like turning it different colors. She makes little ice animals, like little animal, like balloons, but it's out of ice. And I think I've already made that. Done that one. And Aang's like, holy shit, how'd you do that? And she's like, wasn't me. It wasn't me. And then pan up and we see Pakku's been watching them, and he
Mayor of Icetown
is pissed.
You also see the moon, which is waning crescent now.
Is it?
Yeah.
So they weren't even careful about the moon in this episode.
So according to this chronology, the full moon has already passed. We have to assume that this is just like the moon changes its phase like throughout the day.
Yeah, I guess
something.
We don't necessarily know how their moon works, I guess.
It's never established that it's a monthly moon.
I think it is, though.
It's probably
because it's very important. I think they get into it. Like the moon and the sun are very important to this universe.
Yeah.
But anyway, Pakku's pissed about this development, and he decides he doesn't want to teach Aang anymore. So the next day we see the gang up against like the council, sort of trying to plead. Katara's up at the front of the little trio, trying to sort of. She's not necessarily apologizing yet. She's just saying like you need to
trying to appease
please
to them.
Yeah, like trying to beg them to take Aang back,
like
basically.
A court appeal or something.
And they're basically like, swallow your pride and just apologize to Pakku and everything will be fine. And it's just very hard to watch. And she can't do it.
Yeah. It was like, what if I didn't, though?
Yeah, she gets really mad. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this has nothing to do with me. The fact that you're, like, being so stupid and petty about all of this just because I'm a girl. Like, literally, the problem is I'm a girl. That's it. And you're, like, putting off the Avatar's training because of it. And she kind of blows up a little bit. Yeah. And destroys some of the pottery in the area. The cracks start appearing in the ground. It's the same kind of thing she was doing. Oh, they were talking about this in the commentary. The last time we sort of saw her emotions destroying the ice around her was also when someone was being really sexist to her. So it's like her main like bending fuel, really.
Yeah, is sexism.
That's the thing that gets her blood boiling the most.
She says, "You're a sour old man. Come outside and fight me." Meet me at the Northern Water Tribe for an ass kicking.
Yeah, so Katara basically challenges this waterbending master to a duel, even though she barely knows any waterbending. Everything she's basically learned from herself and from the little scroll that she had. But we can see that she's very powerful just based on these little emotional outbursts. So she like storms out of this little temple. Aang and Sokka are kind of like, whoops, just kind of shrugging. And then we see Zhao and Iroh having a bluff-off.
Just having some tea.
So they're having a conversation about the explosion on the ship.
He's having tea with an unfascinating...
A familiar enemy. But Iroh's sort of playing up, it was the pirates. fuck those guys. Iroh seems to be like really buying the fact that these pirates just had a grudge on them and they killed Zuko, and he doesn't really look that upset. So we have to wonder if, I don't know, like there's obviously something else going on here, because if Iroh was genuinely under the assumption that his nephew was dead, this is not how he would be spending his time.
He seems to be saying exactly what Zhao wants to hear.
Yeah, and Zhao looks stoked to hear it too.
Which is pretty much his weakness, is that
he's so fucking prideful that he doesn't actually pay attention to like nuances in anything. Speaking of pride, Katara, back at the Water Tribe, has taken off her jacket and is ready to punch this guy in the face. And then Paku says, he walks down the stairs and just kind of keeps walking past her and says something really sexist. And then Katara just fucking whips him with the little water whip. And finally, Paku kind of loses it a little bit. He's like, if you want to learn water bending, you better study closely. And then we get the most incredible waterbending battle possibly in the show. Do we ever see like waterbending like this? Like two people waterbending in such a beautiful, terrible way?
Not really.
This is it.
Like probably not until like Korra, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that happens, but
that's true.
I don't think in this show.
No. Yeah.
In this series.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
It's epic.
Okay. This is epic.
Paku, I'm going to have to think about these.
Katara calls 911.
What?
The emergency services get here, and she says, okay, you can all go home, except for you, fire truck. She gets the fire hose from the fire truck. She turns it on, and then she turns all of the water blasting out of the hose into like icicles. Oh, she has to hook it up to the fire hydrant first, and then she like blasts a bunch of like ice spikes at him.
Paku's like, you've been to Schlitterbahn, but now get ready for the hottest, coolest time in the Northern Water Tribe. And then he's blasted out of a water cannon.
Katara draws a circle into the snow. In this circle, she places one of those like cone drink machines, like cups, one of those paper cone cups filled with water in one of them. And another one, she puts down like a Pixar lamp. Another one, she puts down Samuel L. Jackson himself. He's just standing there. And the fourth thing she puts down is she puts a ski mask, and the fifth thing is a super suit that she stole. And then Frozone is summoned, and he protects her with his little freezy power.
Paku pulls out a set of incense. He sits down on the floor cross-legged. He pulls up a little lap tray. He lights a stick of incense, and he puts it up to his lips, because what's that? It's actually a jewel pod. And he takes the biggest inhale. He sucks all the juice out of it in one draw.
And he swallows it.
He swallows it whole. Back to you, Katara. But then he vapes with biggest clouds and he waterbends them at her.
Katara does the Bruce Almighty thing where she gets like an invisible lasso and she like ropes it around the moon. She pulls the moon really, really, really close to the earth, which causes like a huge tidal wave to like wash all over Paku.
He opens his mouth and swallows it perfectly.
Oh no.
Paku waterbends a hole directly into the ground. He gets out a fishing pole and he fishes up a crab even bigger than the one that they had at dinner. It's the crab's mom.
Oh.
Paku didn't anticipate that the crab knew that both of them were eating crab, and now it's just kind of hitting both of them.
All the while, the Prodigy music starts playing.
Oh, the crab album.
The crab album. It's playing the whole album in the Fat of Our Land. It just goes through every single song in the album, and it's pretty much like the Beyonce Lemonade kind of like.
It's really
turns into like an album movie.
It's really ironic since one of them is about starting fires and they're waterbending.
Yeah.
But that just adds to the atmosphere, and like the creators really knew what they were doing with this scene, because the irony is very potent. Lots of thematic layers. So obviously Katara is really holding her own in this battle, surprisingly for how little experience she has. And Paku is actually pretty impressed. And she's like, nice, so now you'll teach me. And he's like, hell no. There's a moment where Katara loses like the wrapper in her hair. I don't know, the hair thingy. And her hair is down now, sort of around her shoulders. And they were talking about in the commentary how all of the animators were like really excited about this for some reason.
It's like, she looks a lot better that way.
I just see them all like just all drawing these scenes, like standing up and cheering, like, yeah. But Paku sort of at the end of the battle is able to trap Katara in an ice jail. That literally does happen. I mean, everything else happened too, but this one happens for reals.
Katara is sent to ice jail for girl crimes.
But at some point in the fight, Katara also lost her necklace, and Paku sees it sort of on the ground next to her, and he runs over and picks it up, and he's like, "Oh, I gave this to Kana." And just as his heart melts, the little ice jail melts that was holding Katara captive. And we find out that Paku was the guy that Gran was supposed to marry, which no wonder she fucking left the city forever and never mentioned it. And then we cut back to Iroh, who looks like he's kind of walking down the corridors in Zhao's ship, maybe just going to leave or something. I don't know where he's going. He's going to pee. I don't care. But he passes a soldier who has some suspicious bruising around his eyes through the mask. And we find out that Iroh and Zuko have been sort of working together to let Zhao believe that Zuko's dead, basically. So now they're going to have a big advantage over him.
Zuko got blown up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He super got exploded.
Is he okay?
He's pretty beat up from it.
Okay.
That was, the bruising that I mentioned.
He's dead, but he's okay.
Oh, you're right. He is dead, but he's okay.
He's dead inside, but he's okay.
So yeah, they're going to be stowing away on Zhao's ship to go with them to find Aang at the North Pole. It's kind of a brilliant little plan. We get a little bit more exposition on Paku's relationship with Gran, and Katara kind of explains to Paku that it's the sexist, shitty traditions that you have here that made her leave. Weird. I wonder if you could change something about that. But she's really talking shit about arranged marriage and everything. And then Yue just starts crying. We have no idea why. What could it be?
I don't know.
But she gets very upset, starts crying, and she runs off. Sokka follows her. Follows her and finds her on the bridge, but it's the middle of the night now. The moon is high in the sky. The commentators were cracking up at this part. They were just laughing their heads off because they're like, why did it take him so long to find her?
Nighttime now.
On the same bridge that they were on earlier.
Running through the whole city.
Well, I guess it just goes to show it's really hard to find your way around.
Every place looks the exact same.
That would have been a fun little side story to watch.
It's like a hotel in here.
So when Sokka finds her, he's like, hey, I'm so sorry. And then he just goes on about himself, and he tries to make this whole thing about himself, and Yue is literally trying to tell him what the problem is. And he's like, no, I get it. It's all about me. It's so annoying. But Yue finally gets a fucking word in, and she's like, no, I'm fucking engaged. Okay. It's nothing to do with you. Literally nothing to do with you. She does kiss him.
Yeah.
Sokka's been kissed twice in this show. Has anybody else kissed anybody at all? Even just a married couple anywhere. Sokka's getting way too much action. So we see Aang training with Paku again. Katara runs up, and Paku looks very stern as she approaches and says, "What do you think you're doing? You're late." And then suddenly he's had that respect women juice
Mhm.
that Sokka had.
Yeah.
Suddenly he's a good person, I guess.
Yep.
See, this is okay. It's not very realistic,
hmm
but I feel like this is how easily men should change their
Yeah.
minds about these things. I hate that it had to take like his lifelong crush kind of story. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
his incel feels
Yeah.
had to bring him here. But at least we're fucking done with all that, huh?
Mhm.
It's good that it's over. So he's teaching Aang and Katara now. So then our last scene is just Zhao and his enormous fucking fleet setting sail to the Northern Water Tribe. I cannot overstate how many ships.
It's a lot.
It's big.
Here they come.
This is actually like one of the only episodes, at least so far, where they're not like flying away on Appa as the last scene.
And then the very last scene of this episode, they're flying away on Appa. And then they realize, like, oh, we're at the place that we're going to. We should turn back.
They're just so used to flying away at the end.
It's like, we gotta go. It's like, where?
Wait, this has been the goal the whole time. Cool. Yeah, that's the episode. So I think it's time to do 20 questions. Do you have something in mind?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I do. My thing is the blasting jelly again.
Is it organic?
Pass.
You mean pass?
Pass. Skip this question.
You can't do that.
I don't know.
Does someone touch it in this episode?
You don't see anyone touch it, but it may have been touched off screen.
Okay. If two of these were on the moon and one killed the other one with a rock, would that be fucked up or what?
It would be pretty fucked up, actually.
I don't even know if that's how that thing goes.
It would be.
Is it cute?
No.
Is it supposed to be cute?
No.
Is it man-made?
Yes.
Is it blue?
I don't know.
What? Is it something that we have in our universe?
Probably.
I was just thinking like, maybe it's the moon. And then I was like, I don't think someone would have been touching that off screen. Would it make a nice wedding gift?
If you absolutely knew that they would like it, but most times, no.
Is it edible?
You shouldn't eat it.
You shouldn't eat it?
Yeah. You can eat it, but it's not.
Is it food?
It's not food.
Okay. Would you stop me if I tried to eat it?
Yes.
Do we see this in other episodes?
Yes.
Is it something that comes along with the gang?
Nope.
Would it fit in a bathtub?
Yeah.
Would you stop me if I tried to wash it in the tub?
I guess. Yeah.
Would you stop me if I tried to put a little hat on it?
I would caution you.
Is this thing dangerous?
Yes.
You don't know if it's organic.
I don't know if it's organic.
Is it solid?
No.
Is it wet?
Yeah. I think so.
You think so?
I think it's wet. I would imagine it to be.
Is it part of something else?
Not really, no.
Is it juicy?
Possibly.
Would it make a nice pet?
I'm going to be real with you. It wouldn't.
Is it a person?
No.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you would know if that was
Yeah.
organic. And I feel like there's so little in this episode. Is it cold?
It can be any temperature,
Oh. So
I think.
it can't melt?
I don't think it can melt.
What?
At its normal state, I would assume it to be like sort of room temperature.
Does it take several shapes?
Yes.
So there's more than one?
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
We can assume there's more than one? Or do we see more than one?
It's
Sorry, that's not a yes or no question. Do we actually see it in the episode?
no.
Is it just mentioned?
It is mentioned, yes. But we don't physically lay our eyes on the physical thing itself.
Is it an important part of the episode?
Yes.
Is it music related?
No.
This is hard.
I feel like I can give you one thing.
Okay.
I feel like you're gonna be mad at me when you find out.
Why?
I can't, you'll know why when you find out.
Okay. It is mentioned. Someone says the thing.
Yes. It is said.
Is it said once?
I think it's only said once.
And it's an important part of the episode.
It's an important part of the episode.
Oh my God. Is it something I would remember with my terrible memory?
Yes, you would remember this. I know you would.
Okay.
I would even say I'm 100% sure you would remember this.
Is it in a flashback in the episode?
No.
Is it something Yue mentions?
No.
I'm not gonna go down that road.
But you could.
I don't want to. That's no fun.
You've had your fun.
Was it actually in the show, or was it something that we personally canonized?
This is actually in the show.
Okay. I think I know what it is.
What is it?
It just came to me while I was thinking about what would make me mad.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to use anything twice.
Yeah.
It's the blasting jelly, isn't it?
Yes, it's the blasting
Fuck
jelly
you.
again.
Sorry for peeking there. I just got a little bit angry. Hey.
Angry.
God damn it, I was going to make that joke.
I'm sorry, I keep making you angry more and more.
Angry.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Okay, I have one.
Okay.
My thing is the Sungi horn.
Is there more than one?
Probably.
Can you eat it?
No.
Can you eat it in installments?
No.
Can it be chopped up?
Nope.
Is it physical?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you tell me.
Is this like a will it blend kind of thing? Sure. Yes.
Will it blend?
With a sharp enough blade.
Wait. Will it blend?
Not
That's
easily.
a genuine question now.
Well, I would love to know, but
Okay.
I don't have one of those like fucking industrial strength blenders.
A
so.
blend tech blender.
Okay.
Now, you tell me,
Mm-hmm.
if one killed the other one on the moon with a rock, would that be fucked up?
It would be fucked up.
Okay. Is it kosher?
I can't answer this for like more than one reason.
Is it vegan?
I don't know.
Is it gluten-free?
Oh my God, probably.
Is it alive?
No.
Is it cold?
I would imagine it's a little cold to the touch.
In the context of this episode,
No.
it's not cold.
I don't know.
In this-
It just depends on like if I'm touching this and I'm touching this. This one's colder, I think.
Okay. Would it be weird if I touched it and then I like pulled my hand away real quick and I was like, ooh, that's cold?
That would be kind of weird, yeah.
Okay. Would it be weird to touch it in the first place?
No.
Okay.
I would imagine you would love to touch it.
Okay. Is it gelatinous?
No. I know we've established that you have like some weird slime obsession, but no.
Would you love to touch it?
Yeah, yeah.
If there was like a little booth at a science center and it had this inside it and it was like, come touch it, come feel it.
That would be pretty weird.
Could it easily be in like a science center and have like a little plaque with a couple paragraphs explaining the science of this?
I don't think so, but like I don't know. Maybe.
Would it fit in like any type of museum?
Yeah, definitely.
It could be in like an art museum or a history museum.
I'm not going to give you those kinds of answers. This is a yes or no game.
Okay, would it fit in an art museum?
What kind of art?
Just like your historical kind of thing, like paintings, sculptures, modern art.
You could definitely find it at the Louvre.
Okay, it would fit in at the Louvre?
For sure.
Okay. Would it also fit in at like a history museum?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is this like is it a cultural item?
Yes.
Like it has cultural significance?
I believe so. I'm not an expert, but I would think so.
Is this based off of a real life thing?
Partially.
So we only see one in the episode?
We do not.
We don't even see it in the episode.
Correct.
Is it mentioned verbally in the episode?
Yes.
Like they say the name of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we eventually get to see what it looks like?
Not in this episode, no.
But we do get to see it in later episodes or earlier episodes.
Correct, yes.
Do we see it in earlier episodes?
Yes.
Is it on the ground usually? Does it stay in one place?
No.
Is it usually being moved around?
Yeah,
Is it part of the Fire Nation?
presumably. But I can't say hard yes or hard no. I don't know.
Okay. Is it within sort of Zuko and Zhao's kind of general area possession? Is it
Those are
in
two
the
different questions.
Is it in the Zuko storyline?
Yes.
Is it red?
No.
It's not. Does it get blown up with the ship?
Damn, it might. Oh no.
That fire got everywhere.
Oh no. Bummer.
Are you sure? Is it flammable?
No.
Wait,
I don't think so.
It's not flammable.
I don't think it is.
So it probably didn't get blown up.
But I mean, it might be at the bottom of the water.
Oh, that's true. So it was on Zuko's ship.
Probably.
It was probably on Zuko's ship. Did it belong to one of the crew members?
Yes.
So maybe it didn't because he took his crew. They might have taken the
Okay, well,
things.
complicated, yes.
Okay.
Ish. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Is it musical?
Yes.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Is it a little drum?
No.
Is it a Sungi horn?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. It's a Sungi horn.
Yeah.
Which apparently is not a real instrument.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's based on the sousaphone and the French horn.
Interesting. I
A
wonder
combo.
what instrument they were using for that then.
And it looks like it's made out of metal, so I don't think it's flammable. But it might be at the bottom of
Yeah, because it was probably Iroh's.
Yeah.
So
unless it was just like the whole cruise and maybe one of them actually bought it and he took it with him.
They probably had like just an instrument locker that everyone just kind of went through.
No way to know.
His amiibo, his Detective Pikachu amiibo got sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh no.
God damn it.
It's officially not in the story anymore. Unless he just keeps it on him. He does.
Oh yeah, he does keep it on.
He keeps it in his sleeve.
It's the only surviving object. I forgot.
What else do we do on this show?
I have some questions sent in from forums.avatarspirit.net. First question is from band member PG15. Something just came to me. During the battle, Katara flung knife-like ice sheets at Pakku that looked like they could easily slice him in half. Was Katara trying to kill Pakku or something?
Yes.
Seems a little overboard, doesn't it?
No.
Agreed. Next question is from Ray. Seriously, where was all this skilled waterbending when the Northern Air Temple was going to be destroyed by the Fire Nation troops an episode ago?
I have a better question.
There was plenty of snow there to do more damage than breaking a couple tanks.
No, there was not nearly enough water.
There was a lot of snow.
You saw her try.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like getting mad at you, even though you're just the messenger.
Yeah, but she did like flip over entire
she did a pretty good fucking job.
Yeah.
Also,
all she did was destroy a couple armored tanks. Where was that?
She like froze the water inside of them.
Yeah.
Ugh. Not to mention, it's been like a little while since then. So she's also been learning. I also have to assume that she and Aang probably had more than one night where he was actually teaching her some of the stuff that Pakku taught her.
A lot of the discourse in this forums is very like Rey in the Force Awakens discourse. It's bad.
Men be sexist.
Yeah. Kikuta Master has several questions. Was no one else concerned that Zuko might have actually died in this? Or were you all too focused on the snowball fight scene at the end?
Wait, snowball fight?
Those two people throwing snowballs at each other. Well, no one else was concerned that Zuko could have died. He might have actually died in this. How could they just kill him off? Wait.
Did this person just completely miss that he wasn't dead?
We haven't even made it through season 1, and I was just starting to like him.
Wait.
See my post in the Blue Spirit. How could they just kill him off? I almost cried at the end when I finally found out that he was okay.
Oh my God. Can you imagine watching this and just like believing he actually died? And all of that stuff with Iroh was genuine, like, oh, bummer.
Yeah.
God, kids are stupid.
Boomy 3 has some questions that feel like either my reading comprehension isn't that good or I feel like that they worded it kind of weirdly. I think there might have been somebody else in the past who did something Katara did. Just he didn't get much attention as Katara simply because he was a guy. I think Avatar Kuruk might have learned healing lessons. Why hasn't any one of the tribesmen get so pissing over a guy learning something a girl was supposed to do? Yet they get pissy over a girl learning how to fight? It makes me wonder if in Kuruk's time, something like this would have happened. If it did, this would end. Because what if the next Avatar is born female in the tribe?
Okay, lot of unpacking we gotta do here. I see what they're saying. They're saying, like, surely this has happened before. Surely someone has tried to do what Katara's doing. If the last waterbending master wanted to learn healing, they probably didn't stop him, huh? And they were seeming to imply that if he had, surely this would have ended, as if like men can just end sexism like that. They do make a very good point, though. Like if the next Avatar, because the next Avatar is a waterbender, if it was Katara, or excuse me, if it was Korra and she was born in this tribe, and they're just not going to teach her waterbending,
or just like fighting at all.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Yeah, or they're just going to try to tell her like, oh yeah, we can teach you waterbending, but you can only use it for healing.
Yeah.
Now there's an interesting comic I'd like to explore.
Yeah. And the other thing is that they never bothered trying to teach Aang healing.
That is true.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good point, because Katara never even bothers to teach him that either.
Yeah, and it's implied that healing isn't that special ability because like if all the girls in the if all the girl waterbenders could heal,
even though in like a couple episodes ago he was like, you have the power of healing, that's very rare.
But it also makes you think like maybe it is rare, and then like, oh, if you're a waterbender girl who can't heal, we're just not going to teach you anything.
Well, I mean, maybe it's like it used to be rare and it's like you had to come upon it on your own, but now in this industrial age, we actually have ways of just unlocking the power instead of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good point, though. I liked that last bit on that question.
And that's all the questions.
I have a question for you.
I don't know if I'm ready to answer the question.
What are your cabbages, Noah?
Oh, here are my cabbages. I definitely have cabbages. Tooth, shower, bonus on every delivery reminder. Earn an extra bonus for every delivery completed between 5:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. See app for details. Interstellar Princess just posted a text post. Okay, I'll bite. Who's Bernie Sanders? And Interstellar Princess sent you a post. What are your cabbages?
My cabbages are free delivery through midnight using code BEEP BEEP because you've got a free delivery coming to you.
Oh. See if this gets out before the end of Friday.
Zillow 38 new and updated Zillow homes in your saved search. Patreon, Wanila published a new post, 2:14 Music Edition. Fortnite, PC Gamer, Epic is exploring a Fortnite respawn system. Snapchat from Stephanie Ruff. Snapchat, you have memories from the past 3 years today. That sounds fake.
No, I don't.
That's
I don't remember anything.
Those are my cabbages.
Bye, everyone.
Wait. I just saw my live flash before my eyes.
You have 10 seconds to plug something.
Oh yeah, plugs. You can find me on Twitter.
9.
Shut
8,
the fuck up.
7.
You can find me on Twitter at Stellar Ghost, Interstellar Princess on Tumblr, art blog, Summer Art, or just summergeist.art. And then you can support my various creative endeavors, of which there have been many already this year. There's lots of new artwork that I'll have on my Patreon, patreon.com/summergeist. I do have some sort of exclusive stuff on there just because I'm not allowed to post it anywhere else. Yeah, please do support me. Even just $1 a month if you can spare it. That would be so awesome because it does help me actually help pay bills when I'm not able to go to work. Like I wasn't with the whole stupid sort of airline situation that we had at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, it was great.
Sorry, I'm talking about myself too much. Tell me about yourself.
You could find me on Twitter and Tumblr at OwlDude, and you can find my music at noahdoesmusic.tumblr.com or noahgeist.bandcamp.com. And there's also links on my Twitter and stuff. And most importantly, follow me on YouTube. I think my name's just Noah Geist. I got videos on there.
You might not want to follow him on YouTube.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like you have old, weird videos on there now.
I do. Follow me on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Please don't.
Find out the weird old videos that I have on there.
And then at me so we can kind
of at me.
Me so that I can gossip about my husband.
At my wife, gossip about my husband. About her husband, me, the husband of Summergeist, and it's there's certainly is some stuff on my YouTube channel from 9 years ago.
Ooh, terrifying.
It goes 10 years ago.
You're so brave for actually.
I certainly have 10-year-old YouTube videos. Check them out. Noah Geist. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, YouTube.
What?
Hey, YouTube, it's me.
No.
Noah.
Noah, you forgot. We're still doing our podcast.
Oh, shit. I already started the YouTube Live thing. I guess we're going to be doing crossover.
Hey, YouTube. Welcome to My Podcabbages. Goodbye, Internet.
Cabbage. Paku.
He opens his mouth and swallows it perfectly.
Oh, no. Is that your move?
No, I have another one.
Okay.